Hi everyone, welcome to DOdaily, Tuesday training. It's Des here, just checking in to encourage everybody to keep on with the week, to keep going and hopefully introduce a little bit of activity to proceedings. I've just finished the DOdaily City Slicker session here in Nottingham, as I always have on a Tuesday when I'm filming DOdaily and I'm out and about for a walk. Managed to get in a 5k with the guys before coming to just loosen the legs a little bit. I was up bright and early this morning, incidentally in exactly the same place by the river, making the absolute most of it as I always do. Find so many reasons to use it, but I was up coaching the guys and they almost acted as a bit of a tail marker situation in the coaching I was doing. So a brisk 5k walk this morning, so managed to get in plenty of activity. I say plenty, but manageable stuff. That's just easing me back into things. Hoping to really sort of kick in with all the things I've been talking about. I've said this numerous times, but again, it doesn't always happen, does it? It's not always that straightforward. So I'm hoping to really kick in this week, make some changes, make some sensible decisions, build my activity levels again, not too quickly mind, but like today, find ways to get it in without doing myself in. That's really important. And Tuesdays are always a great way to expand on Monday. Got a bit of a walk in yesterday whilst before I was filming the episode. I ended up doing it at home, and today's just been extending that. Tomorrow is all about the Wednesday workout and doing a little bit more again, really sort of attacking the midweek, using it as midweek motivation to push through and make the most of it the best we can. It's always a case of that, isn't it? The message here is always the same on a Tuesday, it's always the same on whatever day really, but I try and find ways of relating my experiences and what I'm doing into DOdaily to pass on useful information that people can work from, whether it is activity or not. You know, there's ways we can be positive and enthusiastic about the things we enjoy. Before I go any further, just drop a hint for you to give the episode a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. All I'm trying to do here is be honest and relatable. Just touched on there our User Tuesday, but trying to work off a different motivation each day, encourage a little bit of activity, well-being, looking out for ourselves and those around us, as well as a little bit of focus on mental health. And that's where I'm going to start today. Looking back at Monday motivation, I want to speak about that without going into the crux of what I was actually talking about and situations where I found myself a little bit lonely. Of course, Mental Health Awareness Week started yesterday, and the focus is on loneliness this year. The Mental Health Foundation have decided to focus on that. I think it's a real important issue. I spoke at length about it, so do check out that episode. But what I really want to say, as much as anything, is thank you for the great response to that. Do you know, those kind of episodes really aren't easy. Really, really tough to sort of deliver and articulate. And also that I've run the risk of taking myself back to a point where I wasn't very happy. I was at odds with life myself. But the response has been absolutely amazing. So many messages today, people wanting to talk, asking if I'm okay, wanting to talk because they're not okay, telling me situations that have arisen in their lives, and that's amazing. You know, as much as in many ways I hope not to get those messages because I don't want anybody to struggle, the reality is that it's always going to be the case that we have our ups and downs and somebody's going to need to reach out. For me, speaking so open and honestly as I do, as I try to, you know, it just feels amazing when people actually sort of respond to things like that and feel they can actually talk. I'll get back to those messages. I make that promise through what I do. Anybody who takes the time to support what I'm doing here and sort of get involved and interact, you know, I'll make sure I make the time back. Can't always do it as quickly as I want to, but of course we've all got busy lives to live as well. but I'll definitely do it as quick as I possibly can. So thanks for all the interaction on that. One thing it actually made me feel was the fact that I don't feel very lonely. I touched on with DOdaily, sometimes it's almost like my thing. Do you know, I've got lots of support with it, don't get me wrong. I don't want to disregard the support I do get, but it does feel like it's my thing, and I'm talking and I can feel a bit lost with my own thoughts with it at times. But definitely didn't feel that yesterday when I was talking about something so serious and so important. It was great that people took the time to comment, you know, to watch, to like, and do all the things that I need to do to build the channel, to get better and to build my own confidence. It was fantastic. So wanted to mention that. Of course, it is mental health week, so I'm going to put a little bit of extra focus on it this week. I try not to preach about mental health. I say all the time that people can get a bit bogged down with the technical stuff and being told, and you've got to do this and you've got to do that. That's why I use myself as an example. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. Of course, I'll encourage activity because it's worked for me. Again, it's come from my experience, but I don't really want to tell anybody. So there will be extra focus on it. There's reasons for that. Anybody who's watched the channel for a long time will know all of DOdaily and lots of the things I do these days are born out of a legacy I'm trying to create on the back of Al Jamie, a guy who came to the running clubs not long after I set it up 5 years ago now, but I made a promise when he took his own life that I'd do everything I can to support people around me. So striking similarities between his situation and mine, despite the fact I was never there. You know, I don't need to prove that, but the fact I just wasn't. But there was striking similarities in the way we lived our life, our age, you know, what we liked and what we enjoy. So it just really sort of hit home at that point. So that's one of the reasons I want to sort of keep talking, keep being out there with my feelings. But also recently I got the opportunity to go on to BBC Radio Nottingham, the local radio station here, and talk about my reasons and my motivations for doing DOdaily, running groups, and encouraging all the things I do. I'm going to post that at the end and in the actual write-up for today's episode. It'll also be at the end. I'll also post one of those things up there somewhere, I think, if I've got the right side, a card that you can click on. Please do check that out. I've had lots of new subscribers recently. Many people won't have seen that, and every day I try to sort of condense it down as much as I can, the reasons I do this, but that really explains it. Like I say, lots of new subscribers and viewers. It'd be great if you can check that out. It's just with a guy who kind of gets what I do. He understood. He got me on because he understood the situation and he wants to talk about mental health more himself. So it was absolutely brilliant. Enjoyed doing it. And if I'm honest, I found a way to articulate the message I want to get across. And like I say, Mental Health Week, it's important to keep referring to the things that work, isn't it? For me, that was a real sort of plus point of being able to do it. But the most important thing, I guess, was the way I got the message across, and I was really pleased with myself. I'm proud of myself for doing that. So if you could check that out, that'd be absolutely amazing. It might just help you understand a little bit more what I'm trying to achieve here, what I'm trying to do. And like I say, just try and remove some of those barriers and stigmas from talking about the issues we do. Whilst I do talk about mental health, and I'm not worried about the things I say anymore. I am worried to some degree. I mentioned that right at the start. Of course I'm worried. It's all my insecurities come out when I'm talking about a time when I was lonely and I was sad and I wasn't in the best place. But I find it within myself to do it, because when it matters, when it's important, you know, you have to do what you have to do. For Al Jamie, I have to do what I have to do. And I made that promise, so when I say something, I generally do it. So this week, with that focus, you know, I'm going to touch on it without preaching on it. There's times when I encourage activity, when I encourage well-being, it is for mental health reasons. That's the underlying factor in it. I see myself as somewhat of an advocate without being an expert in these subjects, somebody who wants to help people. But there's ways we can deliver the message without even saying the words, and that's normally the way I go. This week, it's important to remind people it is Mental Health Awareness Week. Say every time there's one of these campaigns, people go, why do we only do it in 1 week? Well, we don't, do we? We do it all the time, but these things are sort of created to remind us that it's important, because if we're not reminded periodically, that's when we do just let it become just another issue and just slip by and forget about it. We need to get familiar with some of the words, some of the messages that are being delivered, and do our best to share them and accept them. And that's where I am, I guess. Coming towards the end of today's episode, I guess kind of accepted from yesterday's episode that it's another point where I've got to reflect, where I've got to be positive about all those negatives from the past. But by doing all the things I do, by getting in my training, getting up early this morning, getting down here, look at it now, absolutely stunning. It doesn't matter what the weather is, what the conditions, getting up, attacking the day, getting that brisk 5k walk in, and then getting out this evening with the guys, spending lots of time with people, making sure, I embrace what I've got around me these days, because I've said it many times, and in a week where loneliness is the focus, it's not a nice place when you've got nobody to call upon. Thankfully, I've got lots of people to do lots of the things I love with. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. If you've liked the episode again, you know what to do by now. Thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're new. Please keep watching, please stay tuned. Please feel free to make any comments, send me any messages. The details are all in the write-up below this episode. Just click that for the information. There's several ways to get in touch. The social media links are there too. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to start making some of these conversations the norm. What I do, people sometimes scoff at and think, wow, how can he do that? What rubbish is he talking now? But until we sort of get over those barriers and keep sort of hitting it head on, it's what's got to be done, isn't it? We've just got to keep sharing it, sharing the love, sharing the time we spend together. Activities, hobbies, interest, there's so much better with others. If you need to call out, if you need to shout, call on me, please do. That's what I'm here for. That's what DOdaily is all about. Until that Wednesday workout, where I'll be looking to take my personal positivity and all of the endorphins I've got going on now. I feel like I'm back on it a little bit when I have been struggling. So I can only take that, run with it, literally I hope, and go again. Wednesday workout is the next episode. Hope to see you there. Just doing it.